The Green Party is in reflective mood at this year's conference, looking for that big idea that could transform their electoral future. But party members seem to have different visions of what the policy priorities should be. From opposing badger culling or fossil fuel companies, to solidarity with Cuba or new forms of currency. But the big idea that did emerge was for a progressive alliance, a grouping of left-leaning parties coming together to defeat the Tories constituency by constituency. It was top of the agenda for the newly elected joint leaders, Caroline Lucas and Jonathan Bartley.
Progressive politics means organising so that all of us have a better chance to live a larger life. Conference Let's Build a New Future for our country, defined by solidarity and shared purpose.
So we are resolute in wanting to explore the potential for progressive alliances with other parties that will deliver fair votes, that will deliver more elected Greens than ever before. We are the party of ideas, and Conference, this is a big one.
A shared vision that can and will change everything. Conference, let's seize this moment. Let's be the natural home of all those who want a fair, equal and green Britain. Let's write history by moving forwards together.
But the question for the press was, would Jeremy Corbyn ever agree to take part in such a progressive alliance?
I think what the game changer is that more and more people in Labour are recognising that whoever their leader is, their chances of winning an outright majority at the next election are vanishingly small. So electoral reform is increasingly in their interest too. They recognise that. John McDonnell made a very public U-turn to now support electoral reform. Senior MPs are setting up an all-party group in Parliament for electoral reform. So that's the prize. And certainly Jeremy's office has also given signals that that he's willing to talk about this. Right now he's in the middle of his own election campaign, so let's wait till that's over. But I think that there's more and more pressure growing for a different kind of politics, and one that enables people's voices to be heard all year round. Right now, with the government elected on just 24% of the vote, it's not the case.
Without the Labour Party, the whole thing is a non-starter. Yeah. And in order to get the Labour Party on board, there has to be a broad enough policy platform for the whole Labour Party to feel comfortable. I actually think of a progressive alliance as a way of holding the Labour Party together, that in the context of a broader discussion, sharing potentially even sharing selection benches in individual constituencies under some kind of open primary system. If people from different wings of the Labour Party could be brought together in that wider context, they might find that they have more in common than they think with each other, and the whole thing might, the whole power struggle within the Labour Party might start to feel less like a zero-sum game for control of the only electoral force in town.
Exactly. And it's like with referendum, a cross-party alliance. The split was quite different. It was around an idea that people felt passionately about.
I completely agree that the referendum is what's created this opportunity. It's blown the whole thing apart. We might have lost, but I had this wonderful feeling on the day of the referendum. I went to the Green Party offices in Brighton to collect some leaflets and balloons and things, and leaning up outside the Green Party offices were a whole load of placards, and there were Labour Party ones, Liberal Democrat ones, Green Party ones and neutral ones, all stacked up along the wall outside the Green Party offices. And I thought, this could be the start of something. I'm really excited by the prospect of people who have never before been interested in involvement with political parties, getting together and not just campaigning for this or for this or that policy change, but trying to take the country back from the Tories, trying to win the next election. And I think we could build an unstoppable political movement if we can build a platform around which enough people can converge, and I think there's there are so many areas of agreement. We have so much in common.
Bye.